Waziba was no ordinary lion. Born under the golden hues of a savanna sunrise, his very existence seemed to carry the weight of destiny. From the moment he took his first steps, the whispers began. Whispers of a lion who would one day rule the plains with unmatched strength and wisdom. He was a giant, a legend whispered on the wind. The elders spoke of him in hushed tones, their voices tinged with awe. His presence was like the savanna itself, vast, untamed, and eternal. Wherever he walked, the grass seemed to bow, and the air grew still, as if nature itself acknowledged his majesty. His roar echoed across the savanna, a symphony of power and majesty. It was not just a sound, it was a declaration, a reminder to all who heard it that Waziba was not to be challenged. The roar carried far, reaching the ears of prey and predator alike, sending shivers down their spines. Waziba was the son of SEKEKAMA, the bravest lion the world had ever known. SEKEKAMA's name was etched into the annals of the savannah, a lion whose courage and strength were the stuff of legend. He was a protector, a leader, and a warrior who inspired loyalty and fear in equal measure. SEKEKAMA, they say, could outrun the wind and fight off a whole pack of hyenas single-pawedly. His battles were tales told around the campfires of the savannah, stories of a lion who defied the odds and emerged victorious time and time again. Waziba carried this legacy, a mantle both heavy and inspiring. From his father, Waziba inherited strength beyond measure. His muscles rippled with every step, a testament to the power that coursed through his veins. But it was not just physical strength that defined him, it was the strength of character, the unyielding resolve to protect his pride and his territory. His mane, a cascade of golden sunlight, flowed like a river of fire. It was a crown, a symbol of his dominance and vitality. The golden strands seemed to catch the light, glowing with an almost otherworldly brilliance, a beacon for all who looked upon him. His eyes, amber pools of molten gold, held the wisdom of 1,000 sunsets. They were eyes that had seen the beauty and brutality of the wild, that understood the delicate balance of life and death. To look into them was to glimpse the soul of the savannah itself. But Waziba was not just strength and grandeur. Beneath the imposing exterior was a lion of profound depth, a being who understood the importance of harmony in the wild. He was a protector, not a tyrant, a leader who inspired rather than ruled through fear. He had a heart as big as the savannah, filled with courage and kindness. Waziba's legacy was not just one of power but of balance, compassion, and respect for the world he called home. He was truly the son of legends. One scorching summer, the savannah lay under the unrelenting gaze of the sun. The air shimmered with heat, and the once vibrant land was reduced to a barren expanse. The earth cracked underfoot and the horizon seemed to blur into a mirage of despair. A terrible drought gripped the land, stretching on for weeks that felt like an eternity. The skies, once generous with rain, now withheld their blessings, leaving the savannah to wither under the relentless sun. The watering hole, a lifeline for countless creatures, had become a graveyard of cracked mud. Once a place of life and abundance, it now stood as a stark reminder of nature's fury. Animals gathered in desperation, their eyes hollow with thirst. The cries of the young and the weak pierced the heavy silence, a haunting melody of survival. The savannah, once alive with the sounds of nature, now echoed with the whispers of despair. Among them stood Waziba, the Lion King, his golden mane glinting in the harsh sunlight. He watched his kingdom suffer, his heart heavy with the weight of their plight. He knew he could not stand idly by. Determined, he climbed atop Pride Rock, the highest point in the savannah. From there, he could see the vast expanse of his kingdom, now reduced to a desolate wasteland. His eyes scanned the horizon, searching for a sign, a solution, anything. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and red, Waziba stood tall, his silhouette a symbol of hope against the fading light. The savannah held its breath, waiting. Taking a deep breath, Waziba summoned every ounce of strength within him. He let out a roar, a sound so powerful it seemed to carry the weight of the entire savannah's suffering. It was a call, a plea, and a command all at once. The roar reverberated through the land, shaking the very ground beneath him. It was as if the earth itself had heard his cry and responded. The vibrations carried a promise of change, a shift in the winds of fate. Suddenly the ground trembled, and from the depths of the earth, a miracle unfolded. A spring erupted, gushing forth with life-giving water. The once parched land drank deeply, and the air filled with the sound of rushing water. The animals, hesitant at first, approached the spring. Their thirst was quenched, their strength renewed. The savannah, once silent and lifeless, came alive with the sounds of joy and relief. Greenery began to sprout, and life returned to the land. At the center of it all stood Waziba, the mighty lion, his head held high. He was not just a king, but a savior, a symbol of resilience and hope. The savannah had been reborn, and its heart beat once more, thanks to the roar that shook the savannah. Waziba, despite his strength, was humble. He understood that true power resided not just in might but in wisdom. He would often seek the counsel of the elders, their fur as white as snow, their eyes reflecting years of experience. They told him tales of bravery, of sacrifice, of cunning and compassion. They taught him the delicate balance of the circle of life, the interconnectedness of all creatures. Under their guidance, Waziba grew, not just in size but in wisdom and understanding. One night, under the vast expanse of the savannah sky, a new and ominous danger began to stir. The air was heavy, the usual symphony of nocturnal life replaced by an eerie silence. Something was coming, something that would test the courage of every creature that called the savannah home. Shadow hunters, creatures born of darkness and stealth, emerged from the shadows. Their eyes glowed like embers, piercing through the night. They moved with an unnatural grace, their presence barely detectable until it was too late. Animals began to vanish, their cries swallowed by the silence of the night. The shadow hunters were relentless, their hunt swift and merciless. Fear spread like wildfire. The once vibrant savannah was now a place of dread. Every rustle of leaves, every shadow cast by the moon sent shivers down the spines of its inhabitants. The animals, once confident in their domain, now lived in constant fear of the unseen threat. But Waziba, the wise and noble lion, refused to let fear rule the savannah. Drawing upon the wisdom passed down by the elders, he began to formulate a plan. He knew that unity and courage would be their greatest weapons against this formidable foe. Waziba called upon the bravest animals of the savannah. He spoke to them of strength, of hope, and of the power they held when united. His words ignited a spark of determination in their hearts. He taught them to fight not as individuals, but as a single, cohesive force. Each animal brought their unique skills to the table, and Waziba showed them how to combine their strengths to overcome the shadow hunters. The savannah became a place of preparation and strategy. Animals that once competed for survival now worked side by side, their differences set aside for the greater good. Together they became a formidable force, their unity a beacon of hope in the darkness. When the shadow hunters returned, they were met with a resistance they had not anticipated. The animals, led by Waziba, fought with courage and precision. Their combined strength and unity drove the shadow hunters back into the darkness from which they came. And at the heart of it all was Waziba, his roar echoing across the savannah as the first rays of sunlight broke through the night. It was a roar of victory, of defiance, and of hope, a sound that banished the darkness and restored peace to the savannah. Word of Waziba's bravery and wisdom spread far and wide. Animals from different corners of the world, creatures of all shapes and sizes flocked to the savannah, seeking his protection and guidance. The Great Gathering, as it came to be known, was a testament to Waziba's leadership. He settled disputes, shared his wisdom, and ensured the prosperity of all. Under his watchful gaze, the savannah flourished, a haven of peace and harmony. Waziba, the giant lion, became synonymous with courage and wisdom. He was the protector, the guardian of the Pride Lands, his presence a source of comfort and security. He taught the younger generation the importance of courage, not in aggression, but in standing up for what is right. And of course he taught them the value of wisdom, gained through experience and respect for all living things. For generations, lions have held a revered place in folklore and mythology. They are the kings and queens of the jungle, their majestic presence inspiring awe and respect. Their roars are the voice of thunder, their manes the golden rays of the sun. Lions symbolize strength, courage, wisdom, and guardianship, embodying the noble qualities that humans admire. Waziba's tale, passed down through generations, became more than just a story. It became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, courage and wisdom can prevail. His legacy lived on, not just in the hearts of his pride, but in every corner of the savannah, in every roar of the wind, in every ray of the setting sun. The story of Waziba, the giant lion, transcends time. It reminds us that true strength lies not just in muscle, but in a kind heart and a wise mind. It teaches us that every one of us has the potential for greatness, to be a Waziba in our own right, to stand up for what is right, to protect the weak, and to make the world a better place.